Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we get started with today's video, I just want to say a huge, massive thank you to everyone thus far that has watched my second-hand haul. I was a bit nervous, but I was also really excited about putting that video out, and all of your comments and your reaction and the number of people that have already uploaded to that hashtag secondhand but grand is just amazing. So thank you very much. Now, today's video is one that a lot of you have been requesting of me over the last, I would say, month, because we're now in September, which means autumn is fast approaching. I am very close to doing my wardrobe switch over and getting rid of all that spring, summer stuff and bringing in all my autumn, winter. And you guys will know that regardless of the season, one of my biggest, or actually no, probably my biggest wardrobe staple and the one item of clothing that I would say I'm probably known for is the blazer. So my first category is the black blazer, of which I have several, and they are all different. They all serve different purposes. So my first blazer is from a Stockholm-based brand called Maje. Now, they sent me this blazer, I would say about a year ago, it probably was last September. It's double-breasted, it is an 80% wool mix, and because of that, it is a little bit pricey. I think it's something like €350. I'm not entirely sure at this present moment in time if it's still available. I feel like it would be because it's quite a classic item, but I think this blazer serves a really good purpose as being a slightly dressier blazer. I think it goes great with a pair of jeans and a cashmere sweater, which is why I've deliberately worn this, because it's what I usually tend to wear underneath my blazers. But this blazer in particular works really well over like a cami or even over a dress. I've worn this a couple of times to some weddings that needed something a little bit more formal. But a blazer in black in general, whatever kind of style, double-breasted, a shorter fit, whatever is your taste. Of course, this is all my taste, but whatever is your particular taste and style is a 110% wardrobe staple that I personally think we should all have in our wardrobes. Okay, black blazer number 2. This one is from Sandro, which is a French brand for those of you who aren't so familiar with it. I actually bought this at Bicester Village and it was, I think, about £160. So Sandro's blazers are normally from about £280 to £360-ish, depending on what they're made of and depending on if they're more of a blazer coat. So I feel like this was quite a good deal. You can always look out for past season Sandro, not only in outlet shopping areas like Bicester Village, but also on sites like the Outnet. They have loads and loads of past season stock where you can get yourself a bit of a bargain, as well, of course, as shopping secondhand. So Depop, Vestiaire, The Real if you're in the United States, and I think Canada they also ship to, and of course eBay. Now, my final black blazer that I'm going to show you guys is current stock. So if you are after a black blazer and you don't want to buy one secondhand, I can definitely recommend this one. It's from Marks and Sparks, £79. I can 110% vouch for Marks and Sparks tailoring. My first ever blazer when I was 20 years old, so that was 14 years ago, was from Marks and Sparks. My only tip with this one would be to upsize. I've actually got this in a size 14 because I just found that wearing something like a thin cashmere knit underneath, which is also Marks and Sparks, there wasn't enough sort of room in the arms, and I like to be able to bend and move, and I also like to have a blazer slightly longer fitting and a little bit more oversized. But yes, if you are looking for a black blazer, this is yes. Moving on to my next category, which is men's blazers, and I know this has shooketh many of you because lots of people don't consider shopping in the men's section, whether it be vintage, secondhand or new when you're out on the high street. This blazer in particular is from H&M. I bought this a couple of months ago, bought it online just because This was the exact shade of navy that I was looking for. I think at the time I bought it, it was about £59. Again, it's a wool mix. I'm not sure if this is still available. I think it went down in the sale because lots of you guys said that you bought it, but I love it. It's single breasted. As it's a men's blazer, the shoulders are a little bit wider. So if you are broader on the shoulders and you don't like to emphasize that fact, I would probably stay away from men's blazers. But if, like me, you love the sort of oversized fit, then men's blazers are the way to go. In terms of sizing, and I think I referenced this in my haul video, which was on Wednesday, I always go for a men's size 38 in my blazers, and I am a UK size 10. So hopefully that will help you guys in terms of size. Two more men's blazers here, which again, I featured in Wednesday's second-hand haul video. So I'm not going to try them on again, but I will insert some cutaways here just so that you can see how they fit, how they style. This one is larger than a size 38. So this one does fit so much more oversized, so much more boxy. Again, if that's not the sort of fit that you like, then just bear that in mind when you're sizing. And then I have this vintage Burberry brown tweed number as well, which is slightly smaller fitting because it's vintage and because it is a size 38. Moving on to my third category, which is checked blazers. One check is in no way similar to another check. I'll do a Houndstooth, a Prince of Wales, a Bold, a Burberry. I'll do any kind of check that's going. So I'm going to start off with this one. This was a purchase from H&M. I think it was last autumn winter, so probably September time I bought this. This is from the Trend collection, which is my tip for shopping blazers in H&M. I look specifically for two collections, Trend and Premium. I don't tend to go for main collection because I feel like the quality isn't quite as good. So this one is quite bold. This I feel like is a very kind of Burberry-esque plaid kind of print. It is a little bit tricky to style. I tend to wear this with all black and I just think that that looks the best. I'm not such a fan of it with a blue denim, but each to their own, whatever floats your boat. But it is such a good heavyweight blazer and a perfect staple for if I wanted to inject something a little bit more bold into my look in the autumn winter seasons. Mango is another one of my favourite brands for blazers. This checked one I picked up last spring, so not the spring just gone, the one before. It's quite a subtle print. My sister-in-law, she also has this blazer as well. It's a nice long line, double-breasted. And for anyone that's wondering, no, I never do up my blazers. In the history of being me, I don't think I've ever done up a blazer. I like them to just fit nice and open and loose. One thing that I do like about Mango is that they do favour a longer line blazer. So there are some stores that tend to just do these sort of cropped or shorter ones. I feel like Reese is more of that kind of style, whereas I like a masculine sort of oversized boyfriend fitting blazer. In Mango, I tend to go for a size medium. This one is a medium and I'd say it fits just about right. Enough room in the arms as well for me to lay it under a light knit. This one is a slightly darker check and this one is from Maje and it's another Bicester Village find actually. This is beautiful. Again, it's another wool mix. They're very heavy in the wool, just 2 buttons, but again double-breasted, which I don't think makes much of a difference as I do tend to leave them open. I just find that double-breasted blazers, as you might be able to see as you're looking at me, are slightly boxier, where a single-breasted just maybe fall a little bit differently, and that's because obviously you need to wrap the blazer, so there is a little bit more excess fabric in there. The Everlane blazer. This one's herringbone, which I'm trying to pass off as a check. I don't know if herringbone technically is a check, but just roll with me. I love it. This blazer has everything that I want in a blazer. It's single-breasted, which would be my preferred style of blazer, just because I prefer the way that they hang. It's a nice fabric, like it's a nice wool mix. The sleeves are long enough. They actually are. You might have noticed on some of my blazers they're a little bit shorter and you can see my sleeves of my jumper poking out the bottom. These are long enough. It's a nice long line. It's the perfect length. The only thing I would say is that it doesn't have a back vent. I do prefer to have a back vent in my blazers just because I prefer the way that it makes them move. But aside from that, I love this so much. And one last high street favourite of mine for blazers and for tailoring in general is Warehouse. This is a beautiful, beautiful blazer. I took this with me to Paris last autumn when I went on that trip with Debs. It has these vents. They're actually quite a wide vent, so they fall more like either side of your bum rather than slightly narrower vent. And I really like the check on this because it has a little touch of cobalt blue that runs throughout. So it adds a teeny tiny bit of colour, and that just means that it also ties in nicely if you're going to wear blue denim as well, so not just grey or black denim, which I think is always very handy. Now this blazer, along with some that I have coming towards the end, which I've actually put in their own category, is what I would say is a coat blazer hybrid. The fabric is thicker than a normal blazer, so you kind of can't distinguish. The style of it is a blazer, but the fabric is thicker, so it's difficult to kind of distinguish if it's a coat or if it's a blazer. So I just say it's a coat blazer hybrid. It's a bloat. Now my final two blazers are both from Anine. She's so good. She can nail a blazer. She brings out the same kind of shape and style of blazer in every single one of her collections. It's called the Madeline blazer. This one I've had now for a couple of years, I think, and this was the original one that she brought out. She brought out this check one and a black one, which is a forever staple within her collection. So again, if you're looking at investing in a black blazer, perhaps you don't live in the UK or you don't have access to Marks and Sparks, or you want to spend a little bit more and have something a bit more premium, then Anine I would definitely recommend checking out. It has the back vent, which I like on the back. Just a slight double-breasted. As you can see, it's not as wide double-breasted as some of my other styles. And the fabric is really nice as well. It is actually predominantly polyester, but it doesn't feel cheap at all. It feels really, really nice. Really good quality. I've even put this in the wash and then steamed it afterwards, and it comes out good as new because I've worn this so many times. And then this is the colourway in the exact same kind of style of blazer. This is also a Madeline blazer, but this one has a little touch of red running through it, and this check is actually dark navy. It might look black and white to you guys, but it is actually dark navy, and I just think that this gives me a nice little alternative to a lot of my preferred black, white and grey options. Now my final category is the bloat. The blazer coat hybrid. And Other Stories have got the bloat mastered. They bring them out every single autumn winter season. I think they even still have them through spring summer. They're oversized. This is the one thing I will mention. I often size down in these bloats because I just find that they come up ginormous. So this is the longest of all of my blazers that I have. It's a grey and black check, slightly double-breasted, really thick fabric. They're quite heavy in wool content, these. And admittedly, for a high street brand, I know a lot of you will already know that And Other Stories is slightly on the steeper side of high street price points. But I really do think they're worth the money. Nice and warm as well. If when we start to sort of move into the kind of November, December periods, which over here in the UK are still relatively mild, but with a big thick chunky scarf, like I'm going to be whipping out those acne scarves that I've got, it's just the perfect kind of, without it being a full-on winter coat, perfect kind of throw-on outerwear. Oh, they're just such beautiful blazers. So this was the original bloat that And Other Stories brought out. Can we please try and make the word bloat happen?
It's not going to happen.
They did it double-breasted with just one single set of buttons. It's quite a thick wool fabric, which is why I say it's a blazer coat hybrid. Navy blue, and it has a very slight, you have to kind of look up close, herringbone effect woven into the wool, which I quite like. And I know I have a navy blazer here, but this is my more sort of cooler weather blazer because this genuinely does keep you warm with a nice chunky scarf. Perfect. It's beautiful. Now, the next two I have, they changed the design ever so slightly. Ta-da! So they've made them single-breasted now, and they have 2 buttons, and this style of bloat, because again it is a nice thick wool fabric, and I think these are about £160. I know they're quite expensive, but because of the fabric, because of the quality, they're so well made, lining is beautiful, they're just, they're so good. I couldn't be more enthusiastic about these. And they now have these in maybe 4, potentially even 5 different colourways. I have the camel, and I'm going to show you guys the sort of off-white cream oatmeal-y colour in a minute. A camel blazer was something that I absolutely felt I needed for my life. It's such a classic colourway. It's the same as a camel coat. I just feel like that's something that's really classic, timeless, it won't date, it's something you can whip out year after year. So it is an item which is worth investing in to get that quality and that longevity, so that you're not constantly buying, you know, a new camel coat every single autumn winter season. And because I'm a fan of those neutrals, this is the latest edition, which I actually got earlier on this year. And this is the oatmeal-y colour, which is the same style as the camel one I just featured. Again, really nice wool fabric, really nice texture to the wool. Oh man, sorry, apologies. Anyway, where was I? There's a really nice texture to the wool. It's just, and I really like this colour. I just think it works. I think this can often be a bit of a tricky colour. It can sometimes wash you out, especially if you have lighter coloured hair. So I do need to make sure that I've got a bit of bronzer on or a bit of faux tan on the old face, but otherwise it's quite a versatile colour, like the camel, that you can kind of mix and match with pretty much anything in your wardrobe. Right guys, so there we have it. That is a little peek into my autumn winter blazer wardrobe. Now before I say goodbye, I'm just going to remind you guys of that second-hand hashtag, which I'm just encouraging you all to go and use and upload to, whether it be on Instagram stories, whether it be on Instagram main feed if you're just posting a picture on Instagram. It's hashtag second-hand but grand. Well, that's me done for the day, so I'm going to say goodbye, bid you all farewell, and I will see you guys next Wednesday, because I think some of you might have missed the message, the post that I put on YouTube just saying that we are changing our Tuesday videos to Wednesday. So videos now will be on Wednesday and Sunday. Wednesday is going to be a vlog, so we're back to normal viewing schedule. I'll catch you all then. Bye.